How Zeekr 8X electric cars are made inside Chinese EV factory. The first thing that hits inside the Zeekr factory is not the cars. It is the silence. Thousands of machines are moving at the same time. Giant robotic arms are spinning sparks across unfinished metal frames. Automated carriers are sliding across the floor with perfect timing. Yet somehow the entire place feels calmer than a luxury hotel lobby. And that is the weird part. Most people still imagine Chinese car factories as crowded assembly lines with workers rushing around under harsh lights. But Zeekr is building electric cars inside one of the most advanced production systems on the planet. Some sections of this factory run with almost no human contact at all. And the level of automation here is making traditional automakers nervous for a reason. Because while many companies are still trying to catch up to Tesla, Zeekr is already building the next generation of EV manufacturing right now. The crazy thing is, Zeekr did not even exist a few years ago. Then suddenly this brand appeared under Geely, the same automotive giant connected to Volvo, Lotus, and Polestar, and now they are producing luxury electric vehicles packed with technology that looks more futuristic than cars costing twice the price. The Zeekr 8X is one of the clearest examples of that strategy. This vehicle is not designed like a normal electric SUV where companies simply replace a gasoline engine with batteries and call it innovation. Every part of the 8X was engineered around software, efficiency, automation, and speed from the beginning. That changes everything from the body structure to the wiring layout to how the factory itself operates. And once the manufacturing process starts, it becomes obvious why Chinese EV companies are moving so fast. The process begins long before a single robot touches metal. Deep inside the factory, massive aluminum coils arrive weighing several tons each. At first glance, they just look like giant rolls of dull silver metal. But within hours, those coils will become doors, side panels, roof structures, and crash protection sections for a luxury EV. Huge stamping machines slam down with unbelievable force, shaping flat aluminum into sharp body panels in seconds. Every movement is calculated to fractions of a millimeter because even tiny imperfections can destroy aerodynamics or create wind noise later on. What is fascinating is how little waste the system produces. Scrap material is instantly recycled back into production channels instead of piling up like old-style factories. Watching these machines operate feels less like car manufacturing and more like observing a giant precision laboratory. And then comes the welding shop, which honestly looks like something from a science fiction movie. Hundreds of robotic arms move at the same time in total synchronization, firing sparks in every direction while unfinished vehicle frames slowly rotate through the production cells. Some robots are lifting entire side structures while others weld dozens of connection points within seconds. The body of the Zeekr 8X uses a mixed material platform combining high-strength steel and lightweight aluminum, which means every weld requires different pressure, heat control, and timing. Older factories would struggle with this level of complexity, but here the system adjusts automatically in real time using sensors and AI monitoring. One tiny misalignment could affect crash safety or battery protection later, so every frame is scanned repeatedly before moving forward. It is the kind of precision that explains why newer Chinese EVs suddenly feel so refined compared to older generations people used to joke about online. But the battery area is where the entire factory changes personality. Everything becomes cleaner, quieter, and more controlled, because this section handles the heart of the vehicle. Workers here move carefully around enormous battery packs while automated systems inspect every module using thermal cameras and laser measurement tools. The batteries used in the Zeekr 8X are designed not just for range, but for ultra-fast charging and structural rigidity. That means the battery is not simply placed into the car like a heavy box. It becomes part of the vehicle architecture itself. Engineers designed the platform so the battery pack increases chassis stiffness while lowering the center of gravity, which improves handling without sacrificing cabin space. Most people only care about how many kilometers an EV can travel, but the way the battery is integrated into the frame completely changes how the car feels on the road. One detail that surprises almost everyone is the speed of software installation inside the factory. Traditional cars used to finish assembly before electronics were configured, but modern EVs operate more like smartphones on wheels. At Zeekr, software calibration begins while the vehicle is still moving through production. Entire diagnostic systems wake up for the first time before the interior is even fully assembled. Giant digital screens suddenly light up, sensors start communicating, cameras activate, and the vehicle begins checking itself automatically. The amount of computing power inside these cars is honestly absurd. Some models process data from LiDAR, radar, ultrasonic sensors, cameras, navigation systems, suspension controls, and battery management systems all at once. Years ago, this kind of processing belonged inside server rooms, not family SUVs. Then there is the paint shop, which may secretly be one of the most expensive parts of the entire factory. People usually think paint is just cosmetic, but for EVs, it affects efficiency too. Tiny imperfections in paint texture can influence airflow at highway speeds, which impacts range more than most drivers realize. The Zeekr facility uses fully enclosed robotic paint chambers where dust particles are controlled almost like semiconductor manufacturing environments. Layers are applied with insane precision because modern buyers expect luxury-level finishes even on newer brands. Dark colors especially reveal every flaw, so the robots continuously adjust spray angles depending on panel curvature. Watching unfinished metal shells slowly transform into glossy finished vehicles under controlled lighting is strangely satisfying. It feels less industrial and more artistic, except the artists here are giant automated machines worth millions of dollars. The interior assembly section tells another story completely. This is where the cold robotic precision suddenly mixes with human craftsmanship. Workers install soft touch materials, massive panoramic displays, ambient lighting systems, speakers, seats, and trim pieces while automated carriers move vehicles silently overhead. Luxury EV buyers expect technology now, but they also expect comfort that feels expensive the second they sit down. Zeekr understands that. The cabins are designed to compete directly against premium European brands, which explains why material fitment inspections here are so strict. Tiny gaps between dashboard panels are measured carefully because customers notice those details immediately. And what really separates this factory from older automotive plants is how connected everything is. Every station collects data constantly. Machines monitor torque levels, alignment precision, temperature fluctuations, battery performance, adhesive curing times, and hundreds of other variables in real time. If something unusual appears, engineers can identify the exact production moment instantly. It is manufacturing built around data rather than just manpower. In some sections, digital twins of the vehicles exist inside the system before the real car even leaves the factory floor. That level of monitoring helps explain why Chinese EV brands are improving so aggressively every single year. Problems that once took months to discover can now be detected almost immediately during production itself. Even the testing phase feels different from what most people imagine. Finished Zeekr vehicles do not simply roll off the line and head to dealerships. Every car enters a series of automated inspection zones where cameras scan body alignment, lighting systems, wheel positioning, paint quality, and panel consistency from every angle imaginable. Water testing chambers simulate heavy rain conditions, while diagnostic systems stress test electronics repeatedly. Some cars are even placed onto rolling road simulators where systems analyze drivetrain behavior before the vehicle has ever touched a public street. Considering how much criticism Chinese cars faced years ago, the obsession with quality control inside this factory almost feels personal now. It is clear these companies know the world is watching closely. And the strangest part about this entire place is how fast everything evolved. A decade ago, most people outside China barely recognized brands like Zeekr. Now factories like this are producing vehicles with technology levels that rival companies who spent over 100 years building their reputations. That shift happened unbelievably fast. And legacy automakers are feeling the pressure hard. Because once manufacturing becomes this automated, this software-driven, and this vertically integrated, production speed changes completely. Updates happen faster. costs drop faster. New models arrive faster. The old automotive timeline starts collapsing. What makes the Zeekr 8X factory even more fascinating is that the speed is almost deceptive. At first, the production line does not look rushed at all. Vehicles move smoothly from one section to another without the chaos people usually associate with large-scale manufacturing. But then the numbers start putting things into perspective. Thousands of components arrive in perfect synchronization every single day. Entire body structures are assembled within hours. And software systems coordinate everything with almost military precision. One delayed shipment or calibration issue could slow the entire operation. Yet somehow, the factory keeps flowing like a perfectly timed machine. One area that completely changes the atmosphere is the autonomous driving calibration zone. This is where the Zeekr 8X begins transforming from a machine into something that feels genuinely intelligent. Cameras mounted around the vehicle start calibrating depth perception, while LiDAR systems map surroundings with terrifying accuracy. Massive computer systems feed data into the vehicle so it can recognize lanes, traffic patterns, road markings, pedestrians, and hundreds of driving variables before customers even touch the steering wheel. Watching engineers test these systems inside the factory feels surreal because modern EVs are becoming less mechanical and more digital with every generation. Some vehicles now contain more lines of code than advanced fighter jets from previous decades. That sounds exaggerated until you actually see the amount of hardware hidden beneath the body panels. And then there is the battery charging infrastructure inside the plant itself, which honestly looks like a miniature power station. Rows of newly assembled vehicles connect to ultra-fast charging systems while technicians monitor charging curves, heat behavior, and energy efficiency. The Zeekr 8X is designed for rapid charging because Chinese EV buyers are extremely focused on convenience and daily usability. Companies understand that range alone is no longer enough. Drivers want charging times short enough to feel almost irrelevant. That pressure pushed manufacturers into developing 800-volt architectures and advanced thermal management systems much faster than many Western competitors predicted. The result is vehicles capable of recovering massive amounts of range within minutes instead of hours. The logistics side of the factory is another thing most viewers never expect. There are entire sections operating almost like giant automated warehouses where robotic carriers transport components across massive distances without human drivers. Wheels, seats, battery modules, wiring harnesses, glass panels, and electronic systems arrive exactly when needed, sometimes within seconds of installation. The timing has to remain perfect because modern EV production depends heavily on efficiency. Storing huge inventories wastes money and space. So many components move continuously through the system instead of sitting idle. Watching dozens of autonomous transport robots crossing paths without collisions feels strangely hypnotic. It almost looks like the factory itself is thinking. One detail that really reveals how serious Zeekr is about premium quality is the sound testing rooms. Most people never realize how much engineering goes into silence inside luxury EVs. Gasoline engines used to mask small rattles and vibrations naturally, but electric cars are so quiet that tiny imperfections become obvious immediately. Inside these isolated testing chambers, engineers analyze cabin noise under simulated driving conditions, while advanced microphones detect vibrations humans may not even consciously notice. Door seals, suspension tuning, window alignment, and interior materials all affect how refined the vehicle feels. Some adjustments happen at levels so microscopic they sound obsessive. Yet that obsession is exactly what separates average EVs from premium ones. And honestly, the competition inside China itself might be the biggest reason factories like this move so aggressively. Zeekr is not operating in a comfortable market with slow innovation cycles. Companies like BYD, NIO, XPeng, Li Auto, Xiaomi, and others are all pushing technology forward at insane speed. Every brand wants faster charging, longer range, smarter software, better interiors, and lower production costs at the same time. That pressure creates an environment where standing still for even 1 year can become dangerous. Some factories update production systems almost as frequently as smartphone companies update devices. The crash testing and durability simulations are another side people rarely think about when they see polished marketing videos online. Before the Zeekr 8X ever reaches customers, engineers subject components to brutal stress tests designed to simulate years of abuse within weeks. Doors slam shut thousands of times. Suspension systems endure repeated impacts. Battery structures face extreme temperature variations. Entire vehicles shake violently on specialized rigs that mimic rough roads from different countries around the world. EV buyers often worry about battery longevity or structural durability, so manufacturers know reliability is now directly connected to brand survival. One viral failure online can damage trust instantly, especially for newer companies trying to expand globally. The human side of the factory is easy to overlook because the robots attract most of the attention. But skilled workers still play a massive role in final quality. Some technicians spend years specializing in tiny areas most drivers will never even notice. Interior stitching alignment, paint reflection consistency, touchscreen responsiveness, and panel finishing all depend heavily on trained human inspection. In certain sections, workers stop production instantly if something feels slightly off, even when automated systems show no major problem. Another thing that becomes obvious inside the Zeekr facility is how much modern EV manufacturing depends on vertical integration. Many traditional automakers still rely heavily on outside suppliers for software, batteries, electronics, and even key vehicle platforms. Chinese EV brands increasingly control those systems themselves or through closely connected partnerships. That changes development speed dramatically. If engineers want to improve charging algorithms or battery cooling systems, they can push updates much faster without waiting through years of supplier negotiations. What really shocks industry experts is not only how advanced factories like this have become, but how quickly the gap closed between new Chinese EV brands and companies that once seemed untouchable. Luxury interiors, advanced software ecosystems, ultra-fast charging systems, intelligent driver assistants, massive digital displays, premium ride quality, and AI-driven manufacturing used to belong mostly to elite flagship brands. Now companies like Zeekr are delivering those experiences at a pace that is forcing the entire automotive world to react. Some traditional automakers spent decades refining production methods that are suddenly being challenged by factories designed around completely different philosophies from day one. And the customers are changing too. Buyers no longer judge vehicles only by engine size or brand history. They care about software updates, charging speed, screen responsiveness, intelligent features, battery efficiency, cabin technology, and digital integration with daily life. That shift completely changes how cars are designed and manufactured. In many ways, the Zeekr 8X feels less like a traditional SUV and more like a high-performance consumer technology product built around mobility. The factory reflects that mentality everywhere. Speed of innovation matters almost as much as build quality now. Even the atmosphere around these production facilities says something bigger about where the industry is heading. Older automotive factories often felt heavy, mechanical, loud, and industrial. The Zeekr facility feels cleaner, smarter, quieter, and deeply connected to software infrastructure. Massive digital monitoring systems track production in real time while AI predicts maintenance before machines even fail. Engineers analyze live data streams constantly, while robotic systems coordinate tasks with almost unreal precision. It creates this strange feeling that the factory itself is evolving while it operates. And maybe that is why so many established car companies suddenly seem nervous. Because once manufacturing reaches this level of automation and software integration, advantages built over 100 years start shrinking fast. Legacy reputation alone cannot protect companies from faster development cycles, cheaper battery production, or AI-driven engineering systems. The old automotive world moved in generations. This new EV world moves in months. The Zeekr 8X factory is not just producing electric vehicles. It is showing how the entire definition of car manufacturing is changing in real time. From robotic welding systems to intelligent battery integration, from autonomous software calibration to precision quality control, every section of this facility feels designed for a future that arrived earlier than most people expected. And whether people love electric cars or still doubt them completely, one thing is becoming impossible to ignore. The race is already happening. The factories are already built. The technology is already here. So while millions of people still see electric cars as some distant future experiment, factories like this are quietly producing that future every single day at full speed. Like the video if this completely changed how you see modern car manufacturing. Subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most advanced factories and technology. And comment below which EV company should be explored next.